All right, guys. Hello. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I am on YouTube. I'm a blogger. I love being on YouTube. I started there. I also have Instagram, and we know how important having all the IG likes and everything. That's super important, right? But I'm also on Twitter as well, even though I tweet. But hey, I'm telling you where I'm at, all right? You also can find me on Facebook, which I also love, and I also have a group there as well. Now, as far as Facebook likes, I'm still new to that, but pretty much I'm a blogger. I blog on YouTube. I blog on Instagram. I blog on Facebook. I also blog on Twitter. Well, my clips. Doing interviews and blogging is something that I love to do. The reason why I got into it because of TV. I love reality TV, scripted TV as well. But the thing about it is, what I decided to do with my channel and everything about me is I take TV and I talk about it. I blog about it. I put everything that I know about reality TV on my blog. Not only do I talk about what happens on TV, I also spill tea. Yeah, I do that. Now, because I do that, I don't know what kind of blogger you call me. I'll call myself a rebel blogger because I come in and give whatever it is, period. Okay. So follow me, Commission Reviews. Check me out. I'm on YouTube. Like I said before, you can find me there. You also can find me on Instagram. Okay. And don't forget, you can also find me on Twitter and Facebook. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe.
Hey, it's your girl Stacy B. Make sure you're tuning in to my girl, Kamisha Reviews. She's going to be dropping all the bombs and serving all the piping hot tea. And you know I'm going to be there watching.
Don't you want to be the first person at the water cooler who knows everything? You know, most of the time around the water cooler at work or whatever, you really don't like each other, don't want to talk to each other, but you got to talk about something. Even the ones that do too much, okay? Still got to talk to them, even though they don't really want to hear what you got to say. Join Commission Reviews membership, where all the tea is dropped. Something going on. Commission Reviews knows the tea. You want to get it first? Make sure you join the membership. What are you waiting for? Get in that group so you can know what's popping, baby. Alright. Why is she doing all that? I don't even know what she's doing. I'm just going to ignore her and keep it moving. Do not forget to subscribe to all my social media so you don't miss out on anything else that I post. Join Commission Reviews crew. Have you not joined the membership yet? Take a few seconds and just hit the join button. It's very easy to do. Just select the join button, it will take you here. And as you'll see, you'll be able to join different tiers of the membership. As a member, you are also able to choose emojis that I created just for us. Okay, my bad. Y'all know I never go that long as far as an intro. But oh, never mind. How that worked out so great. What's up, everybody? What's going on in Twitch? What's going on in Twitter? What's going on YouTube? What's good? The Facebook group and Facebook. Everybody out there in TV land. Now, you guys know that I cover reality TV. And you guys know that I love the challenge. Have loved it for like forever. Let me take the snow off of here. I realize it's very pretty. I do like it, but I'm gonna take it off my face. Hang on just a second. I feel like I can't. Okay, anyway. So I was super excited from the time that I saw the trailer of the Challenge All Stars. Challenge All Stars for me is a little bit different. Okay, because I love the challenge, the new ones, everything. But I come from like the 90s. I was a teenager in the 90s and watching the challenge and watching all the real rules, all that stuff. It was a thing for me. I was young watching it. And so Ayanna was one of those. It was like, beast. When you think about the beast mode, you see, oh, they're gonna go beast mode. She was one of those that I equated with that always. And so, you didn't see a few people, people get older to have kids. It's life, same for me. I got college kids now, but I'm just saying. Then you wonder what happened to them or whatever. And so you see the all stars and you actually see these stars coming back, and you just not me for myself, I look at them and I'm saying, man, I know that I feel like I'm beast mode inside, but I am a good 45 years old. I just don't know if I would have it in me to do it again, child. But look, if they told me, because my temper's so crazy, someone said, I challenge you, I'd probably go out there and attempt to try. But Ayanna is there for me. Okay, she is. She has no idea. So I'm going to bring her up. I want you guys to celebrate when I say this queen. Okay, make sure you guys hit the likes up, please, share, and welcome Ayanna to the stage. Yes, ma'am.
Hey,
Welcome, welcome.
hey, can you hear me? Everything's good?
Everything's perfect. I can hear you just fine. How are you?
Oh, wow, man, I'm good. I'm good. I'm glad that everything worked out and you were able to have me here.
Yes, I am very, very. And she knows. I think I try to actually get us something started like before the show. So I saw the trailer actually probably, and she's been extremely gracious and being extremely respectful and helped me get this together. So I want to say shout out to her because she probably doesn't know how it is as far as now. Sometimes reality stars, and I say yes, reality stars, they don't want to really engage unless you have certain numbers. And she's so humble, and so she understands I want to celebrate her. So anyway, um, first of all, welcome to my platform. Welcome to my channel. And Ayanna, you just like I said, for me, you just don't understand. I'm of a certain age, and to see you out there just beasting through it is something for me. So, like I said, I want to celebrate you. What made you decide to go back after all this time? That's the question
You
I want to
know,
ask you first.
Listen, you made me go back. All of
Mm.
us who are out here, we're 70s babies, shout out to the 60s babies too.
Facts,
You
yes.
know, this society that we live in is really quick to frame us all up as being, over the hill or our time is done. And I'm not willing to accept that. So I'm out here for all of us that every single day have to throw on those invisible capes and make it happen. So that's why I went back for the challenge.
Exactly. Okay. So now that you are back, and like I said, the Yana that we saw that slept with the uniform on, you know what I'm saying? I mean, like I'm telling you, the people have to understand the history with this. And to see you go back in the house, especially when you had the challenge, and I kept replaying it, I put it on my channel. I kept replaying. I posted it everywhere. I was like, this is crazy. Pulling the covers, everybody look at they're struggling. And I'm like, just look at this queen. Just coming through like it's just like nothing. Like it was everything. It was everything to me. It was just almost like it was worth it. It was worth the wait, the trailer, wait for it to come on, everything. Did you know that you going into the house is going to affect um fans, affect everything? Because I know it has to change life some kind of way. I'm pretty sure you didn't know going in, but did you imagine?
No, not in the slightest. We live in the moment, and
Mm.
you might even hear in the background a little bit during your live. I have a little baby less than 8 feet away from me,
Wow.
and all of us that are out here in the midst of a pandemic, in the
Hmm.
midst of everything that we've been faced with for the last 2 years, this new normal.
Yeah.
Um, you know, we can't even say that tomorrow we're gonna be okay because
Look.
you might get hit by that Omicron
Yeah.
or that's this Delta variant. So
Yes.
I really didn't expect any moment walking into the house either. I kind of walked into the house with what I walk into my house with. Expect the unexpected.
Exactly. Do you because I know that you've been out of the reality show for a while, but have you been watching reality TV, The Challenge, all from the past 10 years? Have you been watching it yourself before you got on the show? Because
Well,
I'm leading this to a question I'm going to ask.
oh no, it's all good.
Okay.
Many times if you talk to a lot of people who have been on competition reality shows, in the past, it gets to a space. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me.
Bless you. Bless you.
It gets to a space where either you do what you came to do and then you go on about your business, or there is something that's left undone. And for me, when I left the challenge the last time, there was a moment that was left undone.
Okay.
And I don't want to, be too dramatic and say it was painful for me to watch. It wasn't that. It was literally almost a year and a half after my last challenge. I was pregnant with my first child. So
Oh,
I didn't
beautiful.
see myself as being able to be in that world anymore. So
Hmm.
I didn't watch the challenge. In a way, it was smarting for me in that, you know, I didn't see myself at a certain weight, a certain capacity to be able to do all of those adventurous things anymore. I was faced with a new adventure of, at the time, being a single mom of not one, but two children that I had
Hmm.
back to back. I was
Right.
working 3 jobs. I was in grad school. I was working uh,
Wow.
around the clock. I think I went to work a week after I had my first child. So all
Wow. That's
that
their
being
mama life.
said,
Yes.
to answer
Wow.
your question, streaming, the technology that exists, the way it exists now, it did not lend for me to be able to easily on demand, watch content, period.
Okay.
So jump to here we are in 2021. I definitely check out more reality content than I ever would have back in 2006,
Right.
2007,
Okay.
just because it's at your fingertips.
Yes. Yes. I understood.
I will say this: one of my guilty pleasures with reality is Teen Mom, because in so many ways I want to reach out to the
Oh
girls
Lord.
like, "Girl, this is how we can totally hack your life. You got this, girl."
Yes.
It's such
Yes.
a
For
hard
real.
thing to,
Exactly.
especially as a child, but it's a hard thing,
Mhm.
period, when you have to make that choice to have a child out of certain supports and outside of certain realities that society tends to accept. It just takes a special kind of person for that. So I have a special love for every girl that's ever been on Teen Mom, even the ones
Yes.
that are a little
Yes.
ratchet.
Yes, ma'am. For real. The reason why I asked you that is because one of the things that I like to cover about reality TV is honestly growing up watching it, I didn't see a whole lot of people that look like myself, my daughter, or just people of color in general. And I mean all people of color. So it's for me myself, you would celebrate the Ayannas, the different cams, the correlate, all the different people that you don't really see that much. And now, of course, the blessings, we see more of that now. But for you, even I know you said you didn't watch a lot of it, but that's literally what was going on. Do you see a difference, or did it affect you being on that you was a pioneer at that time? Honestly, you really were. It was always like one or two. You know what I'm saying? And there was like three or four, like one or two, maybe one. And I just remember always watching that, thinking, how come it can't be more than just that? That I can see representing me. So I wanted to ask you, how did you feel about that? Because you were a pioneer and you're back on there now. So you kind of was there for the past and for the now. So you get the benefit of both worlds, honestly.
I tell you, I have to give props up to the real, like the first folks that were really doing this, and that's Kevin Powell, Heather B, Los,
Facts.
Romy. Those were folks that had come before I came,
Mm-hmm.
and to be able to walk on their shoulders in many respects. I tell people all the time, Kevin Powell, he was before his time because
Yes,
so
he
many
was.
of the things that were seemingly, I think, controversial at that time would be seen as normative today. I
Mm.
think that when our seasons came out, with myself and Sean and Ruthie and Tech, because we were all on television at the same time,
Yes.
our respective shows.
Hmm.
We had a little bit more wiggle room than the people that even came before us.
Wow.
So, to encounter people that were like, oh my gosh, I started locking my hair because your hair was locked, or I started exploring certain ways of looking at the world and looking at my spirituality because you said this or that. That was, I would say, it opened up more doors than for me to like broaden my own understandings than to, in a sense, prop myself up, because I would meet people and they were like saying, yeah, when you did X, Y, and Z, we do that in my tradition of Ifa, or we do this in my tradition of, and you fill in the blank with what that is. So it caused me to like open up new doors and say, oh wow, I didn't know about this either, and just have broader conversations. So that being said, to be on this challenge and there it be such a diversity, it was definitely refreshing to just have people from multiple walks of life, multiple dimensions, but then we're older too, so you get to trim the fat of a lot of the misunderstandings that I think as kids you're gonna have when you're in that kind of environment, if that makes sense. We weren't like trying to get each other drunk all the time. If anything, some of us, were trying to
Right.
have a little bit of a
Right.
tolerance, and,
Yes.
have
Yes.
temperance, um, to what it is that we were trying to do on the relaxation tip. But yeah, it was great coming back home, having these opportunities to expand my own awareness.
Yes.
At the time I was at Howard and I was like a sophomore, so I wasn't even like a grad student that was well read or anything. I just was like leaning on the edge of just a little bit of information all the time.
Okay. Right.
So, I remember when I got back, Dr. Greg Carr, he has a Saturday class he's been doing with Karen Hunter for, he's done over like 90 episodes now.
Okay.
Dr. Carr pulled me aside and was like, yeah, when you said X, Y, and Z, I got this book I want you to read. And that book is sitting here on my shelf right now. I still have it
Right.
like 20 years later. That's just how it was for me. I don't know how it was for other people, but
Okay.
for me, it was humbling in that a lot of people who I never met before didn't know, kind of connected with the story about my mom, or connected with,
Yeah.
the conversations I was having about race at the time. But at the same token, I had a lot of learning to do, and
Yes.
it just opened up that pathway to do that.
Wow. That's beautiful. You really you give me that spirit. You give me that type of spirit. I want to kind of jump into it. This is the shows that have already debuted already about a situation where with the Sophia, and I know everyone's kind of already asked you 100 times about it, and I was like, you know what? This is just me speaking as watching. I was like, I know a lot of people gonna probably be upset and mad, but the thing that I like about the situation is you're taking this show. It's a challenge. It's a competition. The one
Right.
thing I don't think what people realize is that you're on a competition. This is not the best friend show. And I'm not trying to be, it's not shady or anything. I'm just talking about in general that I think people forget that when they get on these types of shows. So I wanted to, because I know you've been getting a little backlash about it. People have been talking about it. It's been in the blogs, it's been whatever. Give me your take or what you want to say about it. Because to me, I respected and understood it immediately as soon as it happened. I really did.
Yeah, I've been trying to find ways to, tell the story more concise. So
Mhm.
I'm definitely going to direct all the viewers, over to, Mike Lewis podcast, Reality. I'm also Entertainment Weekly, the editor of that, excuse me, the writer for that article, a woman named Cindy Bucksbaum. I get into a whole lot of detail around that particular situation with
Okay.
Sophia.
Okay.
But I'll, in a concise way for those of y'all that have other, things that you need to do with your life or time.
I'll have all
I'll
those
give it to
links
you,
in the live later.
yeah, I'll give it to you real basic. We've all had acquaintances that when we re-encounter them, they're at a different place in their life.
Mhm.
The last time that I encountered, Sophia, I was at a very different space and place. I'm now a mom of four, coming out of COVID, being in my apartment for almost 2 years, with four of my children.
Okay.
Um, Full stop. Like I
Right.
had a baby and we went into quarantine. And it was
It's
like
crazy, man.
homeschool. And it's like, whoa, transform your whole world from being a full-time teacher, approaching a master's degree, to having to do gig economy work while also trying to find coverage, while also trying to circumvent getting a pandemic virus at the same time, along with a host of other things. So to come into this competition with a certain level of grit and no room for the bullshit. I
Right.
think that any woman, man, I don't care what race you are, you can definitely relate to when you've been through something and you have to produce a certain expectation for your family, for your real friends, and then somebody else walks along in that space without the same kind of, I would say, attention to how important that is.
Okay.
Um, Again, I don't know her personal business to know what she came into this
Mm-hmm.
challenge with. But I know what I came in with. So to get
100%.
undone over a hairstyle in that kind of way, and the way that it was dealt with in the house, it was real clear for me that I needed to stay focused on what I came there to do. So, for anybody that feels some type of way about it, I want you to think about somebody that might be close to you in your life at one stage of your life. And then when they come back in, start spinning and creating mess in your world. I want you to
Mm.
think about how you dealt with that, and
Yes.
apply that to my circumstance. And
There
that's
you
that's
go.
the best way I could put that, and also be respectful of her humanity.
Understood.
And not get in the weeds of trying to drag somebody down, because I ain't about that life.
Right.
But I stand by what I did. I'm glad you felt me, for real.
Yes. Yes.
I got a
Yes.
lot of people telling me that they felt me too. They're like, wait a minute. Yeah, half a mil,
Yes.
$1,000,000. You got 4 kids. Yeah, you
I
don't have to.
mean, I don't. There was not nothing that I saw that was like crazy. And so when I was reading, I didn't really get it that it was a situation until like the next day, and I saw the comments, and I was like, oh, maybe I just didn't look at it that way, because I don't know. I'll be like, if you cool with me, you need to go going in. We something might happen that you're not going to like. I'm gonna go ahead and give it to you straight before we get into this house. I'm going for the coin. If you're getting away, I'm sorry. Because you are
Listen.
beasted. You are beasted. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. When you took off your uniform for the second time because you was in the elimination, all that, I was like, you know what? That was everything. But the scene that took me out is when you was like on the board and you never really raised your voice for anything, but you was as simple. I just want to know, am I in here because of this? And I'm just like, respect. You just being straight up. I just want to know what it is. There's nothing else extra. Am I here because of? And I'm just like, I just respect you more, even before you slept in the uniform and everything. So that's why I was so excited to have you on here, because covering reality TV, interviewing reality TV stars, it hits different. Your
Right.
challenge hits different because so many of y'all in there that I used to watch back in the day, and I feel like the All Stars, y'all are coming heavier. I feel like than when y'all was younger. And for me, 45 years old, it's like, shoot, maybe we could do something like that. We always say, I'm so sorry that I couldn't do it. But I said, this woman pulled a doggone coffin, and people were struggling with it. Come on
Listen,
now.
like, how
I'm
many
just
times have you
saying.
been on a job, right? And when you walk in the door that you have to be early is on time is late. You have to try to bring
Period.
it 10 times harder than anybody else that brings it. There are other cast members that have, shared their stories about, they got a pool in the backyard, they live in a Hallmark car, they live in job comfortable. And I'm not
Mm,
saying that I live uncomfortable. I live very humbly, but I don't have a pool in the back alley. I live in a building with other
come on.
people. You
Come
know
on
what I
now. Say
mean?
that. Say
So
that. Say that.
I was
Right.
clear. I was clear. Just like, I mean, I got my Biggie T-shirt on right now. R.I.P. to him and his.
Hey,
You
one
know,
more chance. Hmm.
that's right. It's like, when he says "in one more chance," he was like, "It was all a dream." I used to read Word Up magazine, Salt and
Yes.
Pepper and Heavy D up in
Yes.
the limousine, hanging pictures
Yes.
on my
Let's
wall.
go.
Like, my home,
Hmm.
like home for me,
Classic.
is right here the whole time. I'm
Yes.
sitting at that table. I'm like, "You doing this
Right.
for this? Okay. How can I now change this circumstance so that I can bring more skrill, more resources, more stability home to my family?" Like that's
Okay.
it. And if
Yes.
you about that life, you about that life. If you're not, hey, reality TV or not, you know, I'm gonna bring me,
Respect.
and that's who I am.
Yes. Much respect. See, I don't think people realize that, especially when you become a mom, regardless of what you were before, everything changes for you. Your DNA changes or whatever, your mind, your spirit. When you have a child, it's like everything is for that child until even when they're grown or whatever. So I just think that people don't get it. So you going into the house, you going in there representing what you got to do. It's like you got to bring home the bacon, however you want to say it, to take care of your family. And
Yeah,
I just don't
yeah.
think they
We
understand.
go to the public pool when we go swimming. We don't go in the backyard. We pack our little bag with our extra food, and
Hmm.
we stand in the line with everybody else, and we go during the designated times.
Right.
This is what I'm coming with. That being said, as well, um, I was also really clear that I'd been out of that space for 20 years. Folks had
Mm.
relationships. Folks
Yes.
had, been on the different Rivieras and all the different
Yes.
places where people vacation. They had these experiences that I did not have. And I'm
Mm.
telling you, like, again, I reach out to your viewers right now. You might be watching at work, you might be watching in your living room or whatever. Think of those times when you've been the only one in the room that is coming with your backstory. But everybody else, they got country club memberships and all of these other pieces that caused them to play a different game.
Mm.
So only one I could depend upon was me. That's why I love the elimination arena. Because
Yes. I
you only got
identify
to
with
depend on
that.
yourself
Yes.
in there.
Yes, I look because the thing about it, you never even got into. I mean, this is just the past, not the future, but the past episodes. You haven't gotten into no static with anything. Every time it's always about, look, I'm down, whatever. What do you want to do? I don't care who you want to go against. It doesn't matter. You just there to take care of business. And I think everyone else is like you said, the mindset, the different little groups getting together. You're not even involved with any of it. I'm just like, look, she's like, where you need to be at? I'm where I need to be. If my ex marks the spot, I'm right there. You know what I'm
That's
saying? I'm
right.
just
That's
like,
right. Now look, I'm gonna tell you though, how they say, you lay down with roaches, you bound to get bit.
yeah.
Listen, and I'm not calling nobody a roach,
Well, I got you. I got you. This
but
expression.
we're there for a certain period of time.
Mm-hmm.
So, I can walk in, the door with home right here, right on my periphery. But once you're there for 2, 3, weeks at a time, you don't have your phone, you don't have, access to whatever you consider normal to be. You can't even really, you can cook your own food, but you can't go shop for yourself.
Right.
You're
Right.
not using
Wow.
your pots and pans and your spoon that you know how it stirs and everything. So
Mm.
you're going to see some interesting developments as we get farther into the game.
Right.
You may see some pieces of Ayanna that come out. You're like, wait a minute,
Mm.
was she really?
Mm.
What is this part? What is this happening? It's reality. You watch,
It is.
you cover reality, so
Yes, I do.
people have a tendency to somewhat respond to these dystopian situations that they're placed in
Okay.
ways that they probably wouldn't in their regular lives.
Facts.
So it is what it is.
That's the way it is, though. I'm gonna be honest. One of the things that I do cover, I kind of push the button a little bit with reality TV. I do. Some of my content has gotten a few producers and networks not that happy with me because I give it the real. I mean, I'm not stopping nobody's bag or anything, including my own. But when I cover it, I cover the real. I've always felt like a lot of time reality TV stars get put into a light where we don't see the full picture. So they're creating these certain images and narratives for us. They're not exactly transparent 100%. And I know that going in, but I'm still a fan of the craft and the show. And because I don't want to stop anybody's back, I don't, I know where to go with it. But that's just my opinion. I've said it more than one time. I love reality TV, but it's not all reality TV. And sometimes I think y'all get dragged, and we as fans have not seen the full picture or the full video or even the full conversation in a lot of times. So I always want to give them out because we don't see it.
It's interesting though, to your point, like Leroy
But
recently, Leroy from the one of the younger challengers,
yes.
he spoke up about,
Hmm.
racism
Hmm.
and some other issues that he had had confronted while he was on his show. And
Yes.
I wanted to just stop because like
Oh
I'm
my
trying to
God.
watch every single challenge in order. Like I've had this Yoma's task for myself that I'm going to watch all these challenges back to back in order, and I haven't quite
Wow.
gotten into the
Ooh. Okay.
30s yet. I'm still in the teens on watching the challenge.
Yeah.
So, but I want to watch it like in order. But I wanted to go
Hmm.
back and see the incident that he was talking about. But before I chose to do that, I was like, wait a minute, I've been in that situation. I know what it felt like to
Wow.
have somebody call me a nigger out my name at 2 o'clock in the morning while they were drunk. That happened almost, 15 years before his incident happened to me.
Okay.
You know,
Wow.
I was one of the first people kicked off the challenge. I don't know if you guys remember the extreme challenge. I was kicked off the challenge for, basically hitting Christian and pushing him off of me after he called me a nigger while he
Mm.
was drunk at like 2 o'clock in the morning. Um, do I think I would have gotten sent home today for that? Absolutely not. But back in
Right.
2000, I was.
Right.
I was sent home for that. So there are some shared experiences when I watched his video and remembered how I felt when it happened to me. Um, he didn't raise a hand to her and he didn't go home, but I know what it feels like to be faced with that choice in the moment.
Yes.
There are some lessons I think that, networks can learn as it relates to how people of color do process being marginalized in these spaces. There are people that make a whole lot
Yes.
more than I do that can unravel that in multiple ways. I will say this though, and I've said this before. Um, Leroy further says in that expression that he apologizes to himself for not reacting in a certain way. And I don't know if he's gonna ever watch this, but if he ever does, I want you to say, I want to say to you, Leroy, you don't have to apologize for jack. When
Hmm.
somebody makes a choice to violate you, you have nothing to apologize for as it relates to how you react to that violation.
Hundred
That's all
percent.
I got. That's all I
100%.
got. You don't have
100%.
nothing to be sorry for.
Oh Lord, yes, that is what that was one of the biggest questions I was going to ask you was about that. So I'm so happy that I'm going to make sure that he hears this because he probably needs to hear that from somebody, especially from a vet that's been in the game and have had experiences that stories like you said earlier that haven't been told that should be told now. Because the thing about it is a lot of us fans we think those things happen, especially on the older shows. But of course, there's a difference. Now they talk about it. Even for myself, just a normal life, things that were spoken about now weren't spoken about when I was younger, and vice versa for you. So those stories need to be told. I'm always pushing the envelope and saying that people of color, even though we're winning, we've still lost in so many ways. And we watch things on TV and we're fans of that. Some actors or cast members of reality TV are getting paid more than others. There's still stuff going on that has not been addressed. So I'm just happy you brought that up. It's just it's very important to me. So
Yeah, I
um
mean, I think that sometimes folks
yes.
tend to pick and choose when we're talking about what someone has to, feel apologetic for. When the Me Too movement came along, folks were like, "Oh no, she shouldn't have to apologize for telling her story, or he shouldn't have to apologize for telling his story." Um, okay, I think that can be extended to other circumstances. What happens when you're violated and you choose to speak out about being violated?
Mm,
Even if people don't agree that you should feel that way. In many ways we tend to be re-victimized because now it's like, okay, that man had to make a choice. When you Google my name, what's going to come up? Is it going to be my business that I've worked really hard to build? Is it going to be this other thing that I've done that embodies who I am? The same
okay.
thing as the R. Kelly victims. They had to
Mhm.
make a choice, like, oh, do I speak my truth and now have my name associated with a trauma when you go
Right.
on my online persona, or am I quiet? Am I silent? These are things that we don't really get to talk about in terms of folks that have these experiences and are faced with the discomfort of having that choice that we didn't ask for. Whereas other people, like I said, when we just bring it all full circle, some people are walking into the house with, I'm going to win some money and maybe get more TV time. And that's all they're walking into there with. Others are walking in with, oh my God, the last time I came on one of these, this is what happened to me. And I don't think that's just like native to race. That could have been a female who was violated, or someone who was portrayed in such a way that it caused them a trauma. You know, it happens. But is life fair either? No, life is not fair
it's not.
in any
It's
respect.
really not.
You know, some people are making choices whether or not to, dodge bombs that are being dropped on their house right now. So it's like, okay, is it really that deep? What you're having to wrestle with? Is it really that deep? I think there's space for all of it. It's a huge internet. It's a huge metaverse with this electronic world. So
yes,
I think we can talk about it without feeling like there's going to be this repercussion. Like, okay, because I know for a fact there's some people that will not respond to what Leroy said, for the sheer fact that they don't even want to take the risk that if they say something about it, that it's going to cause them to be blacklisted or whatever else. They don't even want to take the risk. They're like, you know what?
Yes.
Look, I came on here to, be the happy one, and I'm telling you, and that's my deal. I'm not gonna get into the political stuff, or I'm not gonna get into whatever's controversial, because I don't want somebody taking my name off the list. Because it's enough of us that want to be on that list that we're not gonna, rock the boat.
Yes, this is
Ayanna,
situation.
I'm like, whatever.
No, I'm saying you don't understand. You speak to me right now because I'm going through some things where I recently interviewed a Big D, one of the winners from the Big Brother. He's part of the cookout, a historic situation. All the six people of color that got to the end of the house. And one of the things that brought us to the interview was I felt like that not enough Black media covered, or were being not covered, excuse me, were being in a circle, like, or the list, as you stated, to interview reality TV from this situation, and the conversation got pretty deep.
Hold
Yes.
up. Let's build a real tea.
Okay.
You are the first of the milieu of people who have reached out to me to say, hey, look, I want to talk to you. I want to just find out more about where you are in 2021 versus 2020. You are the first woman of color to reach out to me, of everybody. I mean, I've had folks reach out to me in languages that I don't even speak, like, okay, we're going to figure out how to do this Russian podcast.
Right.
Right.
That's crazy.
I don't speak Russian,
Right. For real.
We're going to figure out how to, reach out to your 8 viewers that really ride for me.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
Because some folks too, and I'm going to get into this as well. I don't knock anybody's bag, but I'm not going to ask Kamisha to pay me $25 to talk to me on my Cameo just because that's a way that I can make money. Like, I'm not going to do that. That's not my bag in life. Like, when I came up into the challenge, I came up like, number one, I'm going to try to win $500,000. Number two, I want to connect with other people who are out here, women, men, non-gender conforming, who are fighting through this pandemic and think they can't make it. Because that's my story. I didn't think I was going to be able to make it through this. When I first had COVID-19, I was like, wait a minute, how are my kids going to survive? Like, that's my bag. Right. So you're not going to see me on Cameo charging nobody to talk to me. If anything, I feel like it's a privilege to have had the opportunity to like have this kind of exposure. It's like, okay, now this is now me giving back to what was given to me. If you reach out to me, you ain't gonna have to worry about, me sending, bill for it, because I'm here for everybody that's walking this walk like I'm walking this walk, one prayer, one faith walk at a time. So I'm not gonna knock nobody else that does that.
Right.
That's just not
understood.
What I'm here to do. So, I'm like, look, if it's that, if Black bloggers aren't reaching out to me because they're like, oh man, every time we reach out to the Black kids from the reality shows, they want the bag. They want us to pay them $100 to talk to them, or $200 to talk to them. Hey, I'm just going on the record. You reach out to me Just make sure I know what the link is. I can, on my old computer, I can connect,
Yes.
and the baby
Yes.
is asleep. We gonna rap, and that's just what it is.
Well, I don't know if that's to be honest, in some cases that probably is the reason, because that is a thing. So let me just be honest about that. I just learned about that recently. But the issue is just that a lot of Black bloggers don't get responses. Some of them do reach out. I've reached out to people, and I'm not saying they have to respond to me. It's nothing like that. But I'm saying that talking to other Black bloggers, they do go through that unless they're on a certain list of a network. Because I know how it goes when a reality show is over. Most of the time, the networks have certain bloggers on YouTube or whatever podcaster that they want them to interview with, and I have no issue with that. But after that, if the smaller ones or the people who are not on that list try to get in contact with that reality star, either give them an opportunity, tell them no, I can't do it, they'll say something. And I think there's a lot of the breakdown that's happening, that they'll try to get in contact with a reality TV star and will get nothing but crickets. And then they'll
Yeah, I
see
think that
their
there's so many
counterpart get it.
levels to it too, because it's like, again, I'm also learning. I mean, you guys probably out here, they're taking the time to watch this. Y'all probably know a lot more than I do. I mean, literally, I'm old school reality TV. Y'all pick this person who's living their non-entertainment life. You pick them out of their situation, you throw them into this extra situation, and then they go back to their regular life. I'm old school reality. New school reality is I'm going to get on a reality show, and that's going to be my career.
Okay.
And so, every person has a different walk. I know that there are folks on my cast right now that are like, okay, whatever, I'll talk to you, because in their regular walk of their life, they're not trying to be reality stars. They're just like,
Okay.
oh, I had this fun thing that I was able to do, and I did it, and that's cool. However, there are others that have a different thing, and they have to walk whatever that walk is. I don't know what that walk is. I can't call over anybody at a network and start moving and grooving and shaking
Right.
and pitching anything. Like that isn't, that's not where I am. But I think that that's good for reality TV too. You got to have a nice little mix. You can't just have ginger in the soup. You got to have turmeric. You got to have some onion. You got to have,
Yes. Come on now.
right? You got to have some bay leaves.
Cayenne pepper.
All the different.
Add it all.
So, if all of us were trying to be like, these D-list Hollywood folk, I don't think that would be a really good show. And I think that if you look at some of these reality shows that aren't doing very well, I think that people can see that. Like they see that level of production where everybody's acting. And they're like, well, okay, if we want to watch somebody act, we on Netflix, we go watch Denzel act. We go watch,
I swear we right here. We right here. Because that's what I feel like the last few seasons of a lot of these shows, I call it produced reality TV, where it's not reality TV, it's actually a production. There's a line, there's a cast, there's a character. Opposed to reality TV, where it's like people just came on, it was like, oh, that happened, I recorded it, oh, we put it on the air. You know what I'm saying? I miss those times. I know that we can't, it might be a sponsor, you can't, say this, that, no violence or whatever it is, but still show the raw, show the real. We want that. We miss that. This productive produced TV, we might as well, like you say, watch the scripted shows. If we're gonna just do that, I mean,
and I think we give that with the All-Stars.
yes,
I think we give that to y'all. I mean, you see us with makeup and without makeup. Like
yes,
we do not have a glam squad. I will say that. We're not supposed to talk about what doesn't happen on camera, but I think I can say that there was no glam squad in the background. I mean, if you knew how to do it right, then it looked right. And if you didn't, raising hand right now.
Look.
If you got a call, to get somebody to do it for you when you in your regular life, raising hand, then you're gonna see. You gonna see.
Them braids was everything, baby. Them braids was everything. I was like, she's giving me Thelma with the braid, the African episode when she had. I was like, look, her hair be braided and ready. I loved it. I was like, look, when I seen the white dude hair braid, I said she must did his hair.
No. I did not braid his hair. I did not braid his hair. And I mean, I would have, but no, he had another special friend that that did that.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, after braid gate, I stayed in my own lane.
Like I said earlier, like I said earlier, that is how you play these games. Because this is the thing. People look at you when you did the coffin, even when you jumped did this, they're like, when you won the challenge with the puzzle, I was like, bro, she's like my hero. When she, first of all, she just like, and I know she was tired and everything. It looked like it was very tired, but when you have that adrenaline and that whole thing where it's like, nobody's cheering for me, nobody, I don't need it. I'm good. I got me. And you got the puzzle. When you said the crayon fell out, I mean, either my kids are like college, but I just thought about it as a mom. I've had to have them before. I'm trying to put stuff back together because I had kids that were small, and whenever you want to clean it up, you have to literally put the puzzle back together. Do it over and over. You're a puzzle queen. So on the challenge, they all have nicknames and things for the women and the men, and you're gonna probably be known as the elimination queen and puzzle queen. Just it is what it is. You've heard it here first. Look at Miss reviews. Watch, because she will be back again another year because she's killing it. Yeah, if y'all haven't watched this on Paramount, it's on Paramount. She is killing it. The one thing I like about the Challenge All Stars, it reminds me of old school. It's not like the new or whatever, and it just reminds me of old school, raw in your face. I love it. I love it. And like I said, the whole puzzle thing to me was still everything.
It's fun, and I mean, it's really fun. You know, my kids every Thursday, like I tell them, I'm like, look, if you want to watch it before you go to school, y'all have to be suited and booted like 45 minutes before we have to leave. Like your coat have to be on, your shoes have to be on, the dishes have to be done in the sink, breakfast has to be eaten. And so, you know, my son loves competition shows. Like he's just into it, like American Ninja Warrior, all of it. Like he's just into it. And so, you know, for me to be on there, it's a whole nother bag. So he's normally the one. He's the one that's like hooking up the computer to the TV. Like, all right, come on, mom, I'm ready. It's 6:20. I'm ready. Like he was really into it. But yeah, it's very real because at the end of the day, nobody handed us scripts walking in the door. You know, the majority of us don't have these long-standing reality careers that we've, you know, made over the course of the 20 years in reality. I think more than half of us hadn't even been on TV in 15 years. Wow. So, you know, if I get another chance at it, you know what I mean? That would be great. Like, I'm not going to, you know, turn that down. Like, those are resources that I can, you know, potentially earn for my family. At the same time, there are a lot of people out here too that have never had a shot at something like this. So, you know, I live my life with, I'm a jump on whatever's here at this moment, and because I don't know when I'm not going to have my next.
Yes.
So I'm good. I'm good all around, but I would like another shot.
You are the breakout star. You are the breakout star. I'm telling you, you are the breakout star of this season to me. I mean, everyone has done some wonderful things on this season. I'm like, oh, that's what's up. But you are the breakout star. I told you you're going to be end up being the elimination queen because you literally have gone in there twice and just like, look, I ain't got time. And you every time you've done it's almost like nothing like brush, like Jay-Z said, go on, brush your shoulders. I mean, look, I'm just saying.
Right.
And so you
and doing
are
it for the
playing
big girls
game.
too. Doing it for the big girls
Period.
too. Like,
Look. At the end of it, I'm like, look, she probably gonna be this big. I'm like, my say she's putting everything into every.
Listen,
it's impressive. It's
I'm doing
impressive.
it for those of us that shop at Chico's and Lane Bryant, and you got to let it out a little bit. Like, look, yeah. Like, yes. I remember when we got our uniforms, like, I had to, like, cut and add extra fabric and stitch a little bit. So, you know, because it hit right. You know,
to me, I know I've probably been struggling with that, too. Like, look, I have, like, extra things happening back here. I mean, this ain't going to work.
I'm telling you, Vaseline is a beautiful thing, you know, and you got to, yeah, I mean, all the little curves, you know, they look all that friction.
I can remember when I was younger and I actually was small, like in track. Even then, I was saying, who are these made for? Because they got it going on. I'm over here struggling. I have hips. I'm like 15, 16. So I'm saying I know I would have been in that boat. I was back in that boat. But then that's always been an issue for us too because of our shape is, you know, a little bit different. But I mean, it's all good. You're making it work. You're doing what you got to do for the culture. You're doing what you got to do for yourself, for your family. It's respected. It's respected. Trust. A lot of people are falling in love with you. People who didn't even know you. Look at the comments. They're going back looking at old stuff. I found old clips that it brought back memory. I was posting all over Twitter. Do y'all remember this Beast Mode when she slept in a uniform? You know, and all these things that says I'm telling you, she's one of our heroes, people of color who watched it. Girls, let me say, girls who watched it, because there wasn't even a lot of women. But when we watched it, we saw you on the screen. People was upset when you was gone. We couldn't do the whole tweet and all the different things that's now. But if we
Yeah,
could, oh, you've been trending for sure.
yeah.
Hashtag
I mean,
it ain't right.
it's a trip. Like, there's just so many when we think about how technology's impacted our world and just made us put us in this position where we can, just connect with the fans directly. I think again, this was my one and done. One of my biggest takeaways from this when Paramount Plus dropped that first episode.
Mm-hmm.
I literally had only had social media for 2 weeks. Like, I mean, I had like a personal Facebook page, but
Okay.
I didn't have like I didn't have an Instagram, didn't have a Twitter. Even my Facebook, I didn't use it very often because you get a little wary of that when you work in situations where your online persona matters. And I was working at a school at the time, so I had backed up from a lot of social media use.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that being said, I set one up, Instagram and a Twitter. And my uncle at the time was, kind of sick, and he's really in the comic books, really heavy. And he was the one that like really encouraged me to take that leap, go on the challenge in the first place.
Wow.
So, I chose this name, Ayanna Superhero, on both of those monikers because I feel like many times the superheroes in your life are not the ones that are the most muscular. They're not the ones that, make magic happen in ways that the world will give you a trophy for. But they're the ones who save the day. They come through no matter what. And I was like, yeah, that's how I am for who I ride for. That's how I am for my community. That's how I am for my 4 kids. That's how I am for all my adopted ones. That's how I am in my teacher life. So I'm like, yep, that's Ayanna Superhero. That's what it is. I set that up, and Paramount Plus drops that first episode and the second, and I get these flood of just comments coming into my inbox. I'm a mom of 5 and this is my story, or I'm a mom of 1 and or I'm pregnant trying to get through, or I'm a grandma and my daughter's on drugs and I'm raising her kids and I saw you do this thing and it really made my day. And
Wow.
to be somebody that could have easily written one of them letters to
Has
somebody who helped me get through a
yes.
moment.
Wow.
I'm telling you, like the first month after
Mm.
like everything has aired, like this first month, I literally am spending at least an hour or two every single day just doing voice calls, not voice calls, but like little voice messages,
Yes.
just responding to people like, hey, this one lady, she's on her little weight loss kick. She be inboxing me. Yep, I went running today. I went like 3 laps, and I'd be like, yeah, you go, girl.
But see, what you don't
Make me
understand
get
about
my
that.
big ass up and go run a little bit too,
I need to
like
be out there myself. I ain't gonna lie. But what you don't understand, but what you don't understand about what you just said is so powerful. This is literally what I've been talking about for the past week. That some reality star will say, "Well, oh, I don't see the comment. I mean, I don't see the DMs, and we don't check for them, and we have a lot of DMs." And you have to understand when I hear that, hear what you're saying, and remember what I just heard a few days ago. It is, oh my God, it's crazy because that just shows who you are, your character. That just because you're on TV doesn't mean you cannot. You said you were responding back and forth with the voice responses on Instagram. You don't understand. For a lot of people, that means so much. So many people get on TV for their first TV show. This ain't your first time. Your first TV show and act like I'm too busy to talk to you. And it's, I get
and
people
the thing
change.
is,
I
and
get your
the thing
life
is,
changes, but
and they might be, and again, I don't knock anybody for how they have to keep balance in their life. Like, I don't think that every single person that puts themselves out here, because it could be dangerous too. Somebody could catfish me up and all of a sudden, something very dangerous happen as well. Like, I'm not naive to that. At the same time, we got to be authentic to what our walk is. And I know my walk is that 1 year ago to my birthday, Thanksgiving Day, I almost lost my life. Like, I almost was not here to be able
God.
to go on a challenge.
Wow.
Like, I mean, in a very, very tangible, dangerous way. And, for that to have happened and then just a few weeks later get a call for All Stars 1.
What?
And the
Wow.
day that I got the call for All Stars 1 was the day after I got my positive COVID test.
Mm.
And COVID had been running through our whole household, our whole building. And so at that time, I was like, I can't do it. I got COVID. I saw an opportunity that was so close, and I was like, okay, that must not be for me.
Right.
Let me just
Right.
make it through this COVID. Let me just make it through COVID. Let me make it through maybe not being able to breathe and trying to think through what's going to happen to my children.
Mm.
And then getting through that, and then January, February coming, March coming, April, getting another call, a second call. Who
Yes.
does that? Who
Yes.
gets that? So
Yes.
I know what my walk is. My walk is, like I said, my walk is not pools in the backyard. My walk is not, I've won challenges and got millions of dollars in the bank, or I live in a fancy, swanky situation. Like, that's not my walk. My walk is, like I said, this is my one and done. And the people who I've talked to so far, it was able to take them from point A to point B on that day. Then I feel like I've done the revolutionary act that I came to do. That's what it is. But like I said, I don't knock anybody else for their walk, but I know what I gotta do. Because I know I'm very clear about how it feels to be very aware that your life could end at any moment unexpected. So I'm
Yes.
gonna do with my walk. Like I said, I'm gonna do with my dash what I do with my dash. You do what you do with your
Yeah.
dash.
Right. Right.
I'm gonna do what I do with my dash. And yeah, I mean, if life brings us back together, it's beautiful. If not, that's beautiful too. But that's just what it is. Like I said, if you a black blogger, if you a white blogger, Chinese blogger, non-identified, non-gender conforming, non-race
Yes.
conforming,
Come on,
whatever
sister.
your thing is, you reach out to me. I won't charge you. Just reach out, ask. We'll send it up the pipeline. Because like I said, there's people that provided resources for me and mine through this opportunity. I like to keep my word. My word is, they're like, please, let us know if somebody reach out to you, they want to talk to you in a public manner. You are representing our brand, you are representing our show. Let us vet them. Because it could be some weirdo like, yeah, I got this
I
blog,
understand that.
and
I
then
do
all of a
understand that.
sudden, my face is on some weird body doing
I
something
understand
weird.
it. Yes.
Like,
100%. I
I'm
say
like,
do that.
man, I didn't expect this.
Right. Right. No, so for me, I understood it. They do have to protect you guys and their brand. So for me, I don't even have a problem with that. I just think to even have the opportunity to be vetted, a lot of
Yeah,
people would love that. So
yeah,
I'm going
yeah,
to spread that message that you said about to the bloggers. I'm gonna spread it as far as I can take it, because one thing I love to do is support other bloggers, regardless of the size and who they are, and of their race, of their gender, all these different things you specified it, and that's the way I feel as well. So regardless of what the way you've handled it, it was beautiful. You handled like a queen that you were. So whenever I talk about you, I always say the queen, because that's what you have shown myself, and I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that feel that way. And I want to say one last thing to you before I know, because she a mama, y'all, and she got babies and everything. I don't have babies,
listen,
but she
we
got
could
babies.
go. You might have to call me
But
later. We could go.
but one of the things I wanted to I know you can't, and I'm not even asking for no spoilers or anything, but if they was to ask you to come on another season again, because sometimes they've brought people back for more than one, would you do it again if they
Oh
called you
yeah,
next year?
absolutely. My only concerns is that, of course, the welfare and safety of my children. This one was for me, it was easy to do because it was summertime, and the support system for my young people, it's a lot easier. All parents know to
Yes,
find
if they're out of
care
school.
when they're out of school and during the school and during the summer. Um, but what's for you is for you in life. If listeners, if you don't take away anything from this, what is for you. Do not be afraid of what you don't think you have when considering an opportunity. I remember when I first told somebody, hey, look, they've asked me for this. Can you help out with the kids? That person was like, you really think you could go and do this and you have 4 kids? And everything was all of this like lack talk. But once I jumped over that person to the next person, she
Right.
was all like, "Ooh, this is how we can make it work, and this is how we can make it work, and this is how you
Hmm.
can make it work, and here is how I can show up for you." Jump over the first person that tells you you can't do something, so that you can reach the one who's going to be the bridge to your new opportunity. Because yeah, I've had enough of people telling me what I can't do before
Come on,
people.
testimony.
So
That's
yeah,
a testimony,
yeah,
okay? And that's a
yeah,
true
yeah. I've had
statement. Don't let
enough of
that
that.
first no
I've
stop
had
you.
enough of that.
Yes, yes. Oh my God, I have so enjoyed you having you on here, and if even if I have the opportunity to have you on again after the show is over and the reunion, because so many things come out after all that. I know this because I've been doing it for so long. If I have the opportunity again, I would love to have you on here. You're a humbling person, and you're just a cool person to watch. Always have been,
Oh
and
man, well
so
thank you. I'm really hoping, like I said, it's a lot of us out here that, their time on these shows was, a long time ago.
hmm,
And they too bring things to the table that I think are unexpected that the world needs to see. I'm always going to promote the folks from my season, Sean, Pua, Pavel. I don't think any of them have ever even been on the challenge.
I don't think so.
So
No,
and they are some diverse and dynamic people. Sean is holding down his family in North Carolina. Pooh is holding down her family of five in Hawaii. You know, Pavel is a consummate artist. So I'm real clear that sometimes other people do need opportunities. Like I've
yes.
had one. I've had one. So if this was my one and done, cool. At the same time, I'm not gonna say no.
I know that's right. Maybe
So
maybe encourage some of those from your season to I don't know how it goes, but sometimes I'm sure they think that you may not want to do it if you're not active or whatever. I don't know. I don't know how the process for them goes, but I would love to see that as well. So maybe you
yeah,
can do some nudging or something to somebody like, hey, I think such and such. I don't know, 'cause it's still a baby. When I mean by baby, for them going to the past and bringing them back, this is the second
this
season,
is
so
new. Yeah, this is
this is
like
very
brand
new.
new.
So I
Mhm.
think it's gonna be a lot of y'all gonna get an opportunity, but gonna be a lot of y'all who are gonna get these come back because the fans love you, and I think you're gonna be one of those people. At least I'm hoping that, but I got a feeling I'm right on that.
Well,
Thank
look,
you,
thank you
great.
for the love. You, like I said, you got a beeline to me. Again, I can't say that, I will always be super accessible in this way
Right,
because,
right.
like I said, it's only gonna take one
Things
time
change.
for somebody to be weird, and then I'm gonna be like, oh hell no. let me
Right,
let
and
me
then
put my
like I said, things
armor on
change
real
anyway.
quick.
Things change, but at least I do have that way to get in contact with you, and if something needs to change, I'm pretty sure you'll let me know. So, and that's just the way you are. So I really appreciate that and you coming on here. And again, you guys go check out the All Star, which is on Paramount. I just binged the last two episodes because I work overnight, so I missed them. And let me tell you, I just got my life. I'm not even gonna tell you what happened. I want you guys to watch it, then I'll do my review at the end of the week. You guys, thank you again. And go. I'm gonna put all of her links and everything for her. I'm gonna have her send me all the things she wants to promote, and
Yeah.
I will
Oh,
put it
and real talk, like, please support this sister right here. I'm trying to do my finger the right way. All right, there we go. Boom, boom. Please support this sister. Click on her Patreon, click on her Cash Apples, whatever she does. Please support the sister right here because man, it's so difficult to coordinate all of this and the level of technology, the level of professionalism that she's had with not only me but the process that she has to go through just to get this out here to you. Please, I will be supporting the sister. Please support the sister with however she asks, for the support to come. And then I'll drop this last little piece too. I got this book behind me. I'm not a standalone person. This is one of the people who I rock with and who rocks with me. This is my friend Brandy Forte,
Hmm.
and this is a book that she wrote
Okay.
called Stronger. So if you ever want to know more about like my why and like why people like me get out there and do what we do every day, this is a good book. Stronger. It's on Amazon.
Send me
She
send me all
talks.
Send me the link to that, and then all your other links. Because once this drops, I'm gonna go ahead and add. So when they click on the video, all the links that you want to people to check you out on, or the podcast, will be all in one place. So just send me all to me on the DM, and I'm gonna have everything there for you. So and I'm also gonna post it on my wall so everybody can also get to the book and everything else. I'm always supporting 100%.
Yeah,
All right,
for sure,
Mama.
for sure.
Thank you. Go take care of them babies, and thank you for coming on. I can't wait to see the next episode, and we're gonna leave it there. All right,
Yeah,
y'all.
come
I'll
on
see
over
y'all
there.
next time.